Hi students, we were discussing about immunity. I told you our immune system has the ability to distinguish self cells from non-self cells. But sometimes due to genetic problems or due to some other unknown reasons, the immune system attacks our own cell. And this is known as autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease. One example is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an example of autoimmune disease. So autoimmune disease means the immune system attacks the own cell, own body cell and damages it. Okay. Now let us check which are the different parts of our immune system. Okay. Human immune system consists of lymphoid organs, tissues, cells and antibodies. Okay. So these are the parts of human immune system. Which are they? Lymphoid organs, tissues, cells and antibodies. The lymphoid organs means the organs where the lymphocytes are originated, matured and proliferated. Okay. And there are two types of lymphoid organs, primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. The primary lymphoid organs include bone marrow and thymus. Okay, so bone marrow and thymus are primary lymphoid organs. You know bone marrow, it is the main part where all the blood cells are formed. Along with that, lymphocytes are also originated. And the thymus, it is a small lobed organ located in the chest region. At the time of birth, it is very large and active, but it keeps on reducing its size with age. When the person reaches the puberty, it becomes a small fatty tissue. Okay. And both bone marrow and thymus, it provides an environment for the lymphocyte, T lymphocytes to mature. Okay. Now we can move to the secondary lymphoid organs. Secondary lymphoid organs provides a micro environment for the interaction of the lymphocytes with the antigen. There are different secondary lymphoid organs in our body. Spleen, lymph nodes, Peyer's patches in the small intestine, tonsil, all these are examples of secondary lymphoid organs. Spleen. Spleen is a bean-shaped organ near the stomach. It contains both lymphocytes and phagocytes. It is a large reservoir of erythrocytes also. It acts as a filter of the body to trap the blood-borne microorganisms. Okay. And the another one, that is the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are small swellings present along with the lymphatic system. It also helps to trap the microorganisms. And these microorganisms, that is the foreign material, that is the antigen, which triggers or which activate the lymphocytes to activate, and in this way the immune system react or it respond. Okay. And in addition to these lymphoid organs, the tissue associated with the mucous lining of the major tracts like respiratory tract, gastrointestinal tract and urinogenital tract also contain lymphoid tissue. That is known as mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Okay, or MALT, malt. Mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, the tissue present in the lining of mucous membrane, okay, of the major tracts. That is all about the immune system of the body. Clear? Now we can move to a disease. You are familiar with that deadly disease called AIDS. What's the full form of AIDS? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Syndrome means group of symptoms. Okay, and it is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, means deficiency of acquired immunity, and it is caused by a virus called HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. It belongs to a group of virus called retrovirus. Do you know what is retrovirus? It is the virus which has RNA as the genome. Their genetic material is RNA, not DNA. Okay, that is retrovirus. And you know the different ways by which AIDS spread from one person to another. You already learned these things. It is through unprotected sexual contact. Okay, sexual contact with an infected person, by sharing the infected needles, or during blood transfusion from the infected mother to her baby through the placenta, through breastfeeding, like that. That is the different ways by which the disease spreads. Okay. And now let us check how this virus enters inside the body and which cells it get affected. First, when the HIV enters the body, it affects macrophages. Okay, it affects macrophages, and now I told it has RNA as the genome. Now these viral RNA particles produce viral DNA. Okay, you already learned transcription. Transcription means DNA to RNA, but here it is in reverse manner, that is the RNA into DNA. So this process is known as reverse transcription, and the enzyme that helps in this process is reverse transcriptase. Okay, so with the help of reverse transcriptase, this viral RNA changes into viral DNA. Now this viral DNA incorporates with the host DNA. Okay, host DNA. It gets incorporated into the host DNA, and now this viral DNA controls the synthesis of more and more viral particles. As a result, many viral particles are formed. Macrophages continuously producing this. So macrophages are known as the HIV factory, because where more and more HIV are produced. Okay. After that, it affects helper T lymphocyte. At the same time, this HIV affects helper T lymphocyte. So here you have to remember, it attacks the WBC, it attacks the immune system. So it affects the helper T lymphocyte. There also it produces more viral particles, and it released into the blood, again attacks the next helper T lymphocyte. In this way, it destroys the immune system of the body. Slowly the immune system get deactivated, and the person is affected by any disease. First, they show fever, diarrhea, weakness, etc. Okay, and this HIV reduces or it deactivates the immune system. That is why the person is suffering from any type of diseases. Okay, and there is a test called ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. This is the test used for diagnosing AIDS. Okay. So there is actually no cure, but we can use antiretroviral drugs to prolong the life of the AIDS patient. Okay, and I told we can prevent this by following certain practices, because if we are conscious in our behavior, we can prevent this. Don't die of ignorance. Now we know the ways through which it spreads. If we prevent that, we can prevent the spread of the disease. So always use condom during sexual contact. Avoid sexual contact with the affected person. Okay, check the blood thoroughly before blood transfusion. Always use disposable needles and syringes like that. So actually from the government side also, they are taking care of all these things. Next class we can study the next disease. Okay, thank you.